This video is brought to you by RVmattress.com, a Brooklyn bedding site.
It's pretty rare that there's a day that I'm not fixing something.
Down here, we have our Nature's Head composting toilet.
On propane, I calculated we can run it for about 30 days.
We were kind of getting tired of the corporate world, the 9 to 5.
Hi, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Cameo, and this is our dog Kona.
And this is our RV Marty.
And we are Can We Bark Here.
Let's show you around.
Hey guys, welcome to the inside of Marty, our home on wheels. First thing I'm going to start off with is the cubbies my dad made custom for us that holds our electronics. These are our work laptops, and then these are our personal laptops that we use to edit our photos for our Instagram. So right here we have our dinette. It's super cool because Ryan actually reupholstered these himself. He learned how to do it, and we really love the velvet. It's super soft and it hides any dirt or dust or anything that gets on them. We also re-epoxied these counters ourselves. We drew on the marble. We loved the look of that. Really fresh and easy to clean. Over here we have the dinette couch area. It's kind of our lounging, relaxing place we like to, just sit and hang out, watch TV, where we also added a swivel mount that we absolutely love. Behind that, we have Kona's toys that we pull down once in a while. It was a great addition, so we can also watch TV in the back. Another thing I want to touch on is these cabinets that I wanted burlap because it looks really aesthetically pleasing. I think it's really cute, but the other upsides to the cabinets are that condensation doesn't build up inside there where our food is. So that's really awesome. And then also we probably took about 150 pounds out of the RV. Living in an RV and adding so much stuff when you're living full time, it adds a lot of weight. So anywhere we could save on weight was a great idea. So we also did that. The storage that are underneath the dinette cushions, we actually have all of our batteries underneath this bench. And then over here, anything extra that we don't want in the cabinets, we throw under here that we don't need access to every day. And then up here, we actually have a regular queen size bed, but it's our catch-all. We have our snowboards up here. Anything that we're not using currently, we also throw up there, but we're going to be having people stay with us in a week or so. So we will move all of that out of there, and also it'll be a guest bedroom. So that's pretty sweet. We have this curtain that we actually saved from our old apartment. They are blackout curtains. They're absolutely amazing. We love having these as a privacy screen, but it also keeps it really warm in here. We also created our own reflectix for all of the windows because we do spend a lot of time in the winter. We, bounce from mountain to mountain from the Icon Pass. So it's really important for us to be able to stay really warm. So we put the reflectix up, and as I said, this curtain helps a lot. So when we're hanging out, we don't really want people seeing inside. That's great. And then another addition, we added the tint on the windows so people can't really look inside. So we really wanted our RV to feel like home. And before we painted the cabinets, it was more of like a wallpaper color. It was very dark, dingy, felt like a cave, and we wanted to brighten it up and open it up. So we painted all of our cabinets a really nice white that makes it feel very clean and homey and more towards how we want our home to feel. Another thing that we really love in our RV is the Wii Boost that we have. When we're out in locations that have zero service, we actually get bars in Verizon if we just set our phones right next to it, which is great. We also have RV Wi-Fi, which makes it so we can also work remotely. I work in sales and Ryan works in accounting, so it's really important that we have really good service while we're out on the road, and we're constantly in very isolated remote areas. So that's really important. Last thing that we also got recently was a hotspot. So Ryan and I, when we're working, we bog each other down, and that's not ideal because then we can't have the service we need to bounce between sites. And my work sent me one for Verizon, and now we have that additional service to help us out working on the road. After living in California with lots and lots of plants, we probably had at least 100 of them. I really want to incorporate a little bit of lively green in the RV so it also feels like home. So we have little plants in the RV and also our macrame. We have a couple fake ones, which are just also that add of green that we love, and then one in the kitchen. And it's just another thing that makes you feel like you're at home when you're on the road.
Hey everyone, Chris from Tiny Home Tours here. I'm excited to share my new mattress from RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. I've had the same mattress in my school bus conversion since finishing the bus and hitting the road. After 3 years of travel, it was time for a new one. It has 5 different cooling features, 10 different RV sizes with 3 different firmness options. All RV mattresses by Brooklyn Bedding are made in Arizona, shipped for free to your door, and come with a 120-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. Like I said before, after 3 years of my old mattress, I'm so glad I made the switch to the Aurora Hybrid mattress. If you're looking for a better night's sleep, check out rvmattress.com or click the link below and use the code TinyHomeTours for 20% off a mattress purchase. Trust me, you won't regret it. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of today's tour.
So people always ask us what made us start living this lifestyle, and it was really a combination of factors. At the time we were living in LA, the pandemic had just hit, Cameo had lost her job, and my job was really not making me happy. It was a lot of hours, and it was just time for a change. And so it honestly might have just been a YouTube video we watched of seeing some people in a van, and it started from there. We started planning, and it was really probably 8-9 months of actual planning before we even had the RV. We went back and forth between going really small and doing a van, went to a tiny living festival and checked out all of our options, and then ended up realizing that's a little too small for us. And so we decided the RV was a great compromise. We were still living tiny and we could still be very mobile, but it fit our lifestyle with having Kona, and the two of us definitely aren't small people, so this is perfect for us. Welcome to our kitchen area. We spent a lot of time here, so we tried to make sure that everything was exactly how we wanted it and tried to make sure that everything was convenient and easy to use. A good example of that is our cup rinser that we got. We only have 4 cups, so cleaning them easily is something that is really important. So having this faucet that moves all around makes dishes way easier to do in the RV. Before the fixed faucet, it was almost impossible to get larger things like pots and pans, so this has been a great improvement for us. So the backsplash is actually just peel and stick. We couldn't do anything with real tile or grout because of how much the RV is moving. It would crack and break, and so this is a great lightweight option that gives the kitchen that open vibe because it's white again and it ties everything together. So a feature that might not be very apparent right away is this microwave. It can actually run off of our solar system without having to turn on our generator. So if we want to pull over to the side of the road, we can just pop a burrito in the microwave and turn it on, and we don't have to kick on a generator or make any noise. So it's really great to have that. All of the lighting in the RV, we switched out to LED bulbs. We didn't have to change anything with the fixtures. It was just basically putting in a new bulb, and so they draw a lot less power, which is really helpful because any amount of power is drawing from our solar system, and so we have to really be conscious of everything we're using. So we have a propane 3-burner oven and stovetop. We use the stovetop almost every single day, and the oven has actually been really nice in the winter as well because not only are we cooking our food, but we're also heating up the RV with propane. So it's a good 2-for-1 option when we want to make something that's quick and easy and also get some heat in here. So in the RV, having extra counter space is really important for us. And so we have this cutting board that can either be set on the stove. It also locks into place on the sink. And so we can have that additional cutting area, which is really nice. We also included this drop-down counter extension that's been really nice for prepping sandwiches. We typically have Cameo on one side getting the food out, and then I'll be on the other side putting the food together. Another feature we added into the RV, which gives us peace of mind, is this little security camera. When me and Cameo are snowboarding, we like to keep an eye on Kona and make sure she's not getting into any trouble and everything's fine in the RV. And so this works off of our Wi-Fi that we have in the RV, so anywhere in the world we can check it out and make sure everything's running like it should be. Another feature we added to improve the space in the RV was just a wall that we pushed back and then added a rod in it so we can keep all of our spices there and we don't have to worry about them rolling all around when we're driving. And so it's just a perfect example of finding all the little spaces that we could take advantage of in the RV and really maximize it. So staying organized in the RV is really important in all aspects, including our food. This was just one big open area, and so fitting in all of our groceries and dry goods was a little difficult. So we added in 2 extra shelves, which gives us so many more options on how to store things, as well as these back shelves for smaller items. And it's really great because we basically just got 3 more areas to store food. Another little feature we added to make our lives easier is whenever we're going down the road, if you hit a bump, these cabinets will fly open. So we added these little baby locks that when you switch it up, when you shut the cabinet's locked in place. And then when we're parked, we just have this magnet that releases it, and then it opens like normal. And if we're staying somewhere for an extended period of time, you can actually just lock it, and then it opens and closes without having to use the magnet. So the fridge that came with the RV is a Dometic fridge, which means we can run it on electric or propane. Since when it's running on electric, it pulls a lot of amps, we tend to just keep it on propane so we can boondock a lot more and it doesn't drain our batteries so much. On propane, I calculated we can run it for about 30 days without having to refill our tank. The doors on both the freezer and the fridge actually lock when you shut it, and so we don't have to worry about these swinging open when we're driving. You just push on it a little harder and then it won't come undone. So Cameo and I have found that this size fridge is perfect for us. We actually can still go to Costco and get some bulk items like our chickens. So we typically only have to go to the grocery store once every 2 weeks or so. If we're strategic about what we're using and think through our meals, we can go even longer. So it's really great. Over here, we kind of have an everything storage shelf. We don't really have anything in particular that's in here, but we start to throw in sunscreen and things that we need when we run out the door. So over here we have our control panel that monitors our propane level, our tank levels, and also lets us turn on and off our water and our water heater. Right above that we have a thermometer, and it actually has 3 different points that it takes our readings, and it also gives us humidity levels. So I have them strategically placed down by our pipes, where especially in the winter where they were starting to freeze, it was really important to maintain them above 32 degrees, and we could always track that up above.
All right, welcome to our bathroom. This is the perfect size for us. We have our medicine cabinet right here where I hold a lot of my cosmetic stuff and toothbrush stuff. And then we added this additional shelf so we can have our lotions, deodorants, anything we wanted easily accessible right up here, including my makeup bag. We replaced the shower curtain with an actual rod and a nice little curtain similar to a house one. We added these cool little hooks up here so when we want something to dry for snowboarding, we get to hang our snowboard pants up here or bathing suit, whatever. So that's a really nice, unique touch we threw in here. We re-epoxied the shower. It was a very vintage yellow we didn't like, so we turned it white and it's very clean. We love it. We also replaced this shower head, which is awesome because we can turn it on and off, so we're not wasting water. And when you're living full time and you don't want to have to refill constantly, this is a great addition to the RV. We actually had this in our apartment in California and we kept it. It's awesome. We throw up extra toothpaste up here. We can hang our toothbrushes here. Keeps it very neat and we really love it. We replaced the faucet. Before, your hands were like against the sink and you couldn't really use it. It was a pain in the butt. So we replaced it with a black one to match the one in the kitchen. And then we also epoxied these counters and actually carried it into the sink. And we were skeptical about doing that, but we love it. We also took the tile into the bathroom, which also ties in the kitchen, which we really like. And then we also created this board and banton. I love it. It's so cool. It's very unique. It feels really homey. I love the green in here too. And then we added these triangles to create a little bit of accent in here. And then we went to Costco and we grabbed this little coat rack, bathroom rack. And then we threw up our towels and extra toilet paper, which is really nice to just get it up out of the way. It was just a wasted space before and now we're really utilizing it. And then down here we have our Nature's Head composting toilet. We have it plumbed to our black so that our pee can go down and not just fill up a bucket. Now that it's connected to our black water tank, it just filters right into there. Ryan really did a unique job here that really works for us now that we don't have to worry about it for probably 2 weeks, maybe even a month. And also the composting isn't that bad. We have a batch of coconut coir out in our storage that we just about every 30 days or so come in, take it out, and then we refresh the dirt and it's really awesome. I really like it. I think it's a great addition. We feel really self-sufficient and sustainable, and it's a awesome touch to the RV that we really were skeptical about that we'd recommend.
We found out right away that when your home is on wheels, it's basically going through an earthquake every time you drive it. And so things break frequently. And when I say frequently, I mean it's pretty rare that there's a day that I'm not fixing something that either needs to be slightly fixed or has just completely broken. And so it's constant repairs, constant adapting, and you really have to be an electrician, a plumber, everything. It's been hard, but it's been really satisfying learning the ins and outs of this thing.
Especially living in the winter when your pipes are freezing and you can't take a shower or you can't make coffee in the morning, or as simple as washing your face. It can be a little frustrating, but Ryan really is the man of all trades now. He can really fix anything. Running to Home Depot, grabbing some insulation, easy fix there, making sure that the fan's running the night before. We really have to prepare and think ahead of time. And yeah, learn as we go. It is a part of the life. We've gotten used to it. But yeah, Ryan's gotten really good at fixing it, which is amazing. All right, welcome to our bedroom area. It's right next to the bathroom, which leads me into the bathroom door that we completely redid. We love it. The door handle was not cute at all. We didn't really like it. So we added a new one, and it's a magnetic, so it really stays closed while we're driving. It's awesome. And then we also added these triangles that we think are really unique and make it a little bit more fun and aesthetically pleasing and a little bit more homey, which we really like. Over here we have a wall heater that is great to keeping our little nook back here nice and toasty. We have a remote that we keep stuck over here, so we can also adjust the temperature whenever we want, but we can also just reach over and adjust it. We have a hat tree, just keeps it nice and out of the way, but we love to wear hats, so we have that. And then up here are all of our summer and winter clothes. It's very full, but it's perfect. I actually was able to put more of my clothes, and I have all of them now in our RV, which is great. So right over here we actually have our hanging closet that we turned into an organizer to hold all of our socks, shorts, tank tops, bathing suits, which is really convenient to have a little cubby to organize all of those small things that you grab every day. Over at our headboard of our bed, we have the little nightstands that we just added to throw up our phones. It was kind of inconvenient having our phones just tucked in the corner of our bed, so we added these little nightstands that hold our phones while they're charging. We also have two over here so we can set up a drink. And then Ryan actually installed these speakers that connect to our TV, so it's kind of like a surround sound in our bed, which we absolutely love. It's really nice, and the quality is just a lot better, so we really like that addition as well. And yeah, we just have a bunch of extra blankets. We keep it nice and cozy in here. I don't think we've ever really been cold in our bed, and we've been in negative 20 degrees, so we're doing something right. Another thing that we added to the renovation is a brand new mattress that is 8 inches thick. We love it. It's super comfy. We didn't like the mattress that was previously in here. It just wasn't very comfortable, and we kind of sank through. Another thing that we added was during the winter, we noticed a lot of condensation building up under our mattress, and then that's where mold can grow. So we added a dry den, which is super cool. It's just like this little mesh that we put underneath our mattress, and it's great because there's this airflow that's circulating, and we no longer have the issue of mold building up underneath our bed, which is really important when you're living in such a small space. One of the most important things that we added so we could live life in the winter was insulation throughout the entire RV. We actually last minute decided to add insulation right here in our bed, which is a great idea. It's on the underneath the mattress as well as on the walls, and then we also completely redid the floors throughout the RV and put 1-inch insulation there too, and then we put our new flooring on top of that. So I would definitely recommend that to keep your RV nice and cozy and warm. It's a really nice RV upgrade for us living in the winter full time.
One of the things we wanted to improve on the RV was the exterior. Before, it had the standard RV decals, which were the swooshes, and it actually had a lot of sun damage, so they were starting to crack, and it really just gave our basically home not a great look. And so we had to remove all of the decals, which took us several weeks to do. It was very painstaking. It combined a heat gun, a straight razor, and a little wheel that used to remove decals. And between all of those things, we somehow got it off. But we still had a lot of sun damage that you could see on the outside of the RV. But when we added this paint job, we just used really high quality exterior house paint and primer. And so it actually removed a lot of that UV damage and covered it up. So we're hoping that this upgrade will also protect the RV in the future. Cammy and I both grew up in the Pacific Northwest, which is kind of where this inspiration came. When we were driving home, we actually saw a really beautiful mountain scene that inspired us to do this. We started out with this white top color and only actually had two colors, the top white and then the darkest blue. And then through messing around with ratios, we created all the colors in between. So all of the details in the paint job were hand stenciled on, and then we came behind it with paint. The trees, I kind of created a little projector situation and cut out a tree out of cardboard, and then shined a flashlight behind it to get an image, and then traced it with a pencil, and then followed up with paint. We also painted the rims black to just improve the look of those from the stock wheels. The RV also has this electric awning, which is nice because other awnings that you have to hand crank can kind of be a pain. And so with the electric one, it's just one button and it'll go all the way out and back in, and it's super simple. So the RV has two main storage compartments. This first one we use for mainly our camping supplies. So we have some chairs in here, a table, Kona's runner, and then a lot of just miscellaneous smaller things that we keep in this bin. So we kind of got it packed to the brim right now, but we love it and it holds basically everything we need. The second storage compartment we have over here is actually where I store a lot of my tools and also our EcoFlow, which powers the RV and actually makes the RV think that we're just in shore power, but I'll get into that a little bit more in detail. Another upgrade we did was to the RV lock. Before, it was just the stock RV lock, which could actually just be opened using a pin, a pocket knife, the incorrect key, and it was really not safe. So we upgraded to this keyless lock, which actually can be opened with a key, a code, and a little fob. So we've loved having that option. We really didn't realize how annoying it would be to have to hand lock the lock every time, and now just being able to press a button has been great. We also added this solar light right above it. So on the same thought process of improving safety, if somebody walks over, it'll shine the light on them and kind of deter somebody from staying too close to our RV. So on the roof of the RV, we added 1,000 watts of solar, which charge up the house batteries actually really quickly, especially on a sunny day. In order to maintain those and make sure, like in the snow, if they've covered up, they won't be charging our batteries. So we actually scrapped this ladder from a wrecked RV and made a deal with the guy for 50 bucks. So it was a really cheap improvement and just cleaned it off. And so now that it's attached, we can go up, clean off the solar, and do any maintenance that we need to with them. So the solar is currently just charging the onboard batteries that we have. We have 4 100 amp hour batteries, and it's currently charging that. But as I mentioned before, we invested in this EcoFlow, which is a solar generator. It has a 30 amp hookup. And so typically, if you wanted to plug in the RV and use all of your outlets, all the electronics in there, you would have to plug in to shore power. But with the EcoFlow, the RV actually thinks that it's plugged into shore power and it's completely mobile. So if we're stopped somewhere, we can just take out our plug, wrap it around the back of the RV and plug it into the EcoFlow. And the EcoFlow also can be charged with solar. So while we're using everything, it's also being charged. And so we basically can never run out of power on a sunny day. So all of the water that we put into the RV, we run through this huge filter, so we can just drink the water straight out of the sink. Our shower is filtered water, and we really love not having to use as many water bottles anymore. Here we have some more storage compartments. This is actually our propane access, so whenever we run out, you just open up this hatch and fill it up there. It's a 10-gallon tank, which running the stove and the fridge will last us about 2 or 3 weeks without having to be refilled, and can go even longer depending on how much we're using it. Over here we have some hoses and different additions to go with the filter, and basically this is all of our water storage. And then the last one is the RV onboard generator, which, because we added the solar and have the EcoFlow, we don't really even use that anymore. And it's great because when we did use it, it's really loud and it actually shakes the whole RV when it kicks on. So since we've added the solar, we've loved not having to kick that thing on anymore. So if you notice on the side, we have all of these pins that run along the outside of the RV. This is actually for our custom skirting that we did. We got some used billboard vinyl and then put these snaps all the way around the RV. And so when we wrap the RV, it creates this little barrier of air so that the wind isn't taking all the heat from underneath the RV. And when it was -20 in Wyoming, none of our pipes froze. And I like to think that most of that was due to the skirting.
If you are considering in joining this lifestyle with us, it is possible, and I do have a few words of advice for you. It is possible to get a remote job. You just gotta really do your research and find a company that works for you. With COVID, it's that added advantage that it's even more popular and common. So just keep looking, keep trying, apply, and you will get there, I promise. Besides the technical, such as working remotely, it's also all about perspective and the mindset. When you are self-driven and really want something, you can do it. It's really just down to that. When you set your mind to it, you can do anything, and that is why we're here. And we really want more people to do this. It's an amazing lifestyle. We would not change a thing about it. We are having the time of our lives. We talk about how long we're gonna do this pretty often, and it keeps getting longer and longer. It started out 1 year, now it's 5 years. And we can't imagine our lives any differently, and we brought our pet with us too. So you can do it with your kids, you can do it with your animals, you can do it. It's just the matter of you pushing yourself to get there, and I definitely recommend doing it. It's amazing.
Thank you guys for joining us in the tour of Marty the RV. If you guys want to follow along and see what we're up to, we're going to be doing a lot more winter sports and summer things. You can follow us at Can We Bark Here. And we hope we see you guys down the road somewhere.